Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Kinleg. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but we are in Scotland, and I know the last time you saw me, we were in Poland, but a couple of things happened. So, firstly, unfortunately, my gran died, and now that my grandpa is on the farm alone, he needs a bit of help, and to be honest, he can't really do much himself anyway. So, here we are. Here I am, rather, and we are just in the shop because I had to sell everything pretty quickly to move here, and in my haste in moving I didn't think about a car, but luckily the dealership here has a old or a used, basically it's one of the trucks that their agents used, or their salesmen used to move around, and it has been replaced. So here we are. I'm just waiting for it. It is, oh, you can see it actually there. It is getting quickly checked over, and then I'm gonna drive off with it. I've already paid for it. It was 14,000 something, and as you can see, we've got 93,764 pounds. We're in pounds now. I do want to quickly show you area that my grandpa owns, and by proxy, I guess, we own. That is this bit here. So we've got 2 fields. We've got a cow pasture there. We've got a sheep barn and quite a bit of trees here, which is pretty cool. So yeah, all ours. We got a bulk haul, which I think is a silo pretty much, and there is I think he owns a quad bike. Yeah, he doesn't actually drive that. He hasn't driven that in a long time, but yeah, it is his, and here we are. So I'm just gonna wait until they are done with the truck. Sweet. We can just go back there and grab stuff, and it's cool to see they've got some hardware stuff here. So if we ever need like hammers and all of that stuff, Grandpa must have all of that. Jeez, look at that drill. That is a big box for a drill. Anyway, it's a whole tool set. Okay. Okay, maybe it's like a whole drill set, I guess. Okay, well, big boxes. But we can get everything we need here, I'm sure. Anyway, we'll figure it out as we go along. Life here in Scotland. And we'll show you a little bit about around the farm. And we'll show you the area. Look, just look at it. It's pretty. It's pretty here in Scotland. I do love Scotland. It's a very, very cool place. And let's just get in here. Oh, wrong way. All right. We are off. We are off. Oh, need to remember now to drive on the left side of the road. And we're actually going to take this right turn as well. Follow the postman. How's everybody doing? Everybody having a good week? Everybody living their best lives? As you can see, it's got the case logo on. It is the case red. So, yeah, it is. It's unfortunately that it's got the logo on. And to be honest, I don't really like red vehicles, but it is what it is. It's a we got a good truck for very cheap, so I'm not going to say no. Oh, yeah. I need to actually turn off engine braking. I think that's a thing, because as soon as I let go of the gas to like slow down, it just brakes, which is kind of annoying. So I'll have to turn that off. I'll do that in a second. Gate should be open. Gate is open. Right, so I'm just going to park in here for now. And I'll do a bit of a walk around for you. We'll show you the farm. Right, so this is the house. We'll be living in here. We've got a big barn silo shed here. We've got a barn with a bit of a workshop. which is a good place to store some vehicles and stuff. And here we've got obviously the silo with the storage barn. I'm guessing you could probably put more silage in here if you needed to. We've got another barn there. I'm just going to keep opening. All of these woods, they're ours, or trees. They're not really woods. The wood block is ours. And we've got this barn. I don't know if there's anything in there. Or is that just a random useless door? I don't understand the point of a door when there's no even full walls. But it is. These are the lights that don't work. Well, a useless door. Anyway, this is all ours, which is cool. And the cow pastures down here that you can see here. We've got a couple of cows. I'm not 100% sure. A couple of Highland cows, which are very cool. I will have to count and double check how many we've got. But we've got, I mean, top of my head, maybe 10. Or fast counting, maybe 10. We've got that field there, which is actually ready to be harvested, which is something that we'll have to do today. Most likely. Although, so basically, unfortunately, all of the equipment is gone. Since they pretty much stopped farming to a large degree, they basically just not leased out the land, but they got contractors to do all the work for them. They decided to get rid of all the equipment, and basically the only thing my grandpa used for a long time, well, there he is, Grandpa Walter, is the quad bike, but he isn't really in a state where he can drive that anymore, so yeah, he doesn't really do that anymore. Even though he recently upgraded. He had a fall, and his hip is it's not ideal. It's not safe. It's not a good idea. But the quad bike is in there. I think it's a Can-Am, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, this one here. And you can put a chainsaw in there, which is really cool. Don't know how to do that, but you can do that. And the Outlander Pro. Okay, and then we've got the sheep barn. This is a sheep barn. Oh, we've got some sheep actually as well. Oh, sweet. I thought he got rid of the sheep. They've got some food left still. So obviously some stuff has been maintained on the farm. We've got another barn here. We've got loads of storage for equipment. They obviously did have a lot of equipment, but not for a while. I don't know. I think the other field is up here. Let me just double check. And show you, obviously. This, if I'm not mistaken, is all still ours. Which is good. If we need to cut some wood, we can do. And yeah, this is the other field. Okay, so this is grass. We could probably make this field slightly bigger if we needed to. But yeah. That is the farm, and that is the... what is on there? Wheat or barley? We'll check. We will check. You know, it could be a good idea. Because it's quite a nice view. Is to potentially put like a holiday hut, like a shepherd's hut or something right here. Although the wires isn't quite nice, but isn't that nice? But yeah, anyway, we'll have a look. I am not the owner of the farm. My grandpa still owns the farm, but since there are no other family members willing to or able to farm, it kind of falls to me, which is why I left Poland so quickly. And here we are. It's just the way it is, isn't it? It's just one of those things. One of those things. And to be honest, I'm quite happy. I get to actually do a bit of fun. We can make this field a lot larger as well. Obviously, we do need to keep a little bit of space around. Maybe this space is good for parking equipment when we use it. You know, like a header trailer and all of that stuff. So, alright. So, I need to run to the shop. I'll probably go actually on the tablet, because if I do... yeah, I could probably use the quad bike. I don't know what we're going to do with regards to equipment. we need to harvest that. So I need to get a harvesting machine of some sort, whether that is a leased or a bought or a hire purchased or something. I don't know. We'll have to see what we can do price-wise. Let me just close this door. And we can close these doors as well. Don't want all of the doors open. Yeah. Okay. I'm probably gonna... It's nice and warm. So I'm probably gonna take the quad bike. I should have... that doesn't mean... Doesn't have to be closed. I'm probably gonna take the quad bike, head to the shop, and see what we can get, to be honest. It's probably better to speak to them. Maybe they might know about some secondhand stuff that isn't on the tablet, so we'll do that. Right. Here we are. Very cool. I do love a quad bike. Yeah. Right way. I was like, oh, where am I going? Where am I going? I think you can actually go out this way. Let's see. Down here, I'm guessing? Is this a road? This is not a road. We'll go over here. We'll follow this down. All of these trees are still ours. Might actually be worth maybe having a quick drive through. Yeah, this is all still ours. I think up to about maybe here, because this field isn't ours. It used to be, but they sold that. Oh, look at the church. We definitely need to go for a little bit of a drive around. But yeah, I think maybe about 10 meters or something off from the edge of this woodland is still all ours. So all of this on my right and on the left is still ours. So very, very big property, actually. Not massive, but, you know, compared to what we used to have back in Poland, significant upgrade. And we're going to go right here. Luckily, driving quad bikes without a license, or you can drive a quad bike legally in the UK without the requirement of a bike license, which is handy. Obviously, you have to wear helmets and all of that stuff, and it's also quite handy that the dealership is pretty close to where we are. Look at the church. Should definitely need to go into the town at some point. Just to have a look, maybe stop at the closest pub and, you know, get a drink or two, get some food. Pretty cool. There's a big bridge going over the water there, over the lock. I don't know what lock that is. Dromora, Kinleg. So if we want to go into town, I'm guessing this is the way we take. But we'll figure all of this out. Right, I need to... Can I park right in front of the door? Yeah, close enough. Okay. Right, we're going to jump in here and have a chat with... somebody. Over there. Okay, we need a harvester. That is the biggest port of call for now. We need a harvester that can harvest... But I think it's barley. I'm pretty sure it's barley. We'll sort it by price. No, actually, we don't want that. Price ascending. No, don't group the mod list. Okay. Okay. Now, we could buy something like this, which is very cheap, and we've got the money for it, but I don't necessarily think I want to do that, because that is going to be pretty difficult to work with, especially once winter months start coming in. This one seems pretty good, to be fair. Let's have a look at the combination. 4 meters, that's not very big. What about this one? Combination 5 meters, 6 meters. Very expensive, but we We'll most likely be buying higher purchase on this. Let's see. Geez, that's going to be terrible to work with in the winter. And it's only 3 meters. I'm thinking this may just be the best option. It's only got 4-meter header, but we've got a header trailer. At least we could, theoretically speaking, we could get through most of the gates with this as well, which would make it a lot easier. It would mean that we don't need to worry too much about the trailer, the header trailer. It's probably worth getting it anyway. Yeah, it's quite old though. And at least with this one, we could upgrade. You know, we could get this one and we can do more variations. So if we want to plant more stuff, we can actually do that. Where with this one, there's no option. I'm thinking this might be the best one. Can we get a header trailer for this one? I can't see a header trailer. Which would not be ideal. What about this one? Also no header trailer. That one's very limited. Maybe we should just... leasing is so expensive though. How much would it be to lease this? That's not that bad. We could just lease it. And maybe focus on buying tractors instead. Because we're only going to use this once or twice a year. You know, we're not going to be using this much. So maybe for 2 grand. I think that might be a better option. What do you guys think? Reflectors, not worried about that. Yeah, I think we're going to... but if we're leasing it... Let's have a look at what this got. This has got 4 meters as well. It is nice and warm out now, so we could just lease a super cheap one. 4.2 meters. Slower. Okay, we're gonna lease this one. It's very old and small, but but at least we don't have to buy it, and the leasing part of it is gonna be very cheap. So we're gonna lease this one, and we're gonna lease the header trailer. Take that, and we'll lease it. So very, very cheap. We should be able to ditch everything in our silo, so we don't have to worry about any of that for now. Can I walk through the shop? No, I don't think so. Okay, I'll have to walk around. And what I most likely am going to do, I think I have follow on, is I'll get them to follow me to the farm, and then I can drive back with a quad bike. Oh, that is old. That is so old, man. But it's okay. It should be fine. It's just going to be a slow job. At least I'm dressed warmly as well. The breeze is a bit cold, but it is 30 degrees in the sun and when there's no wind. All right. Here we go. Now, I'm gonna try... Let me quickly check. If follow right control F. Okay, so that is on. I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna get my quad bike. And hopefully it can follow. Hopefully they can follow me and kind of deliver it for me, you know? Okay, let's see. Right control F. Disable straw, hold toggle, follow, initiate. Oh, right control F. Whoops. Okay. That seems to be initiated. Let's see. Yep. Okay, great. It's following us. Happy days. So make sure we're going nice and steady. What are you doing, sir? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay. I think they've employed somebody that can't drive. Wow, that is atrocious, but okay. I'm on the wrong side of the road. It's alright, it's my first day, everybody. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My driving will be better. Wowzers. Okay, well, we're off to the farm. We're gonna be harvesting that field. It's not that one. No, it's not that one. Is it? Actually, it might actually be. It's quite a big field. But I don't think it is that one. Need to just make sure I clear the signs. I don't want to get fined by the council. And also not block the road. Again, don't want to get fined by the council. I think... Wait, is that the field? You know what, I'm just gonna go through our farm because I am confused as to what is where. I think that is the field. But I'm gonna take a right here, get off the main road. And I'll go here. There's our field, okay. Okay, that makes more sense. We got there eventually. This is going to be a slow job. To be fair, considering the fact that you can actually come here, you don't have to go through that gate. You could, theoretically speaking, make it a little bit bigger. Got all of this space, you got the space here, you don't actually have to go through the gate to get to it. Which means it might be worth looking at making it bigger. Okay, this is an odd place to start, but we're gonna do it anyway. Let's just make sure I've got all the keys right. Okay, sweet. It's not gonna be a very big hopper, but I'll be alright. Okay, we've got swath, which is great. We can bale it. And we are off. This is gonna be a long road. It's gonna be a long job. It's gonna be a while. Alright. I'm gonna turn the HUD off because it is nicer that way. And that way I can get some cool shots. Should probably turn that off. I'll drive a lot easier then. We do have a lot of space around here, which makes turning around and all that stuff quite easy, which is good. It's a good planned field. Okay, we are full. Perfect place to do it because we're at the gate. And we're gonna go tip this in the... what do you call it? Silo. The bunker barn. Bunker barn. I haven't put my indicator on then. I don't know why. Yeah, this is going to be a very slow job. Because basically, for the first 2 headlands, we're going to be doing this small trip 3 times. Whoa! Okay, off we go again. Just gonna stay on the field because I don't want to go onto the road with a fully loaded harvester and a header for any longer than we need to. Do need to check in on the cows at some point as well. Okay, while this is happening, let's have a quick look at how many animals we've got. So we've got the sheep barn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 sheeps. 12 sheep. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 cows. Okay. So some of them are reproducing. We can actually make them manually reproduce, which is very cool. Okay, so we've got a bit of animals, not a crazy amount, but we do have some. Also want to quickly see how much barley we've got. 5,000 liters. Okay, pretty good so far, and it's probably going to be more than that. And then we'll have a look at the price whenever it's best time to sell. It's probably going to be quite a lot of bales as well. So there's two ways we can make money on this field. It's obviously the barley itself, and then the bales. But I don't know if we're going to sell all of the bales. I don't know if we need bale. I think we need straw for the sheep barn, potentially. We'll have to have a look. I don't actually know. And then if we don't, we can sell all the straw. It'd probably be a couple of grand. This would be a good amount of bales. Not sure what I'm going to plan here next, but I'm going to have a look at maximizing the farm potential here with what we can do with regards to size of fields, and maybe even another field, a third field. Potentially, theoretically speaking, what we could do, I do like the Highland cows, but we could convert that pasture into a field, theoretically speaking. I don't know if we're going to, or if it's worth doing it, but we could do that. Probably going to just turn around. The other thing is also some of the trees we could potentially take out and, I don't know, put like holiday cabins, but that's most likely going to be a while because I'm going to have to build that myself. I'll show you in a bit, but it's actually pretty cool. There's the pack comes with holiday cabins, buildable holiday buildable holiday cabins. You'd want to put it somewhere that makes sense, that's nice, you know, that's got a good view, and that's also a piece of property or a part of the land that you can't really use for something else. So we'll have a look after this field. Once I'm done here, we'll have a look at baling the straw, and obviously have a look at the sale when we should be selling this. Most likely going to be holding on to it for a while, but we should have a look anyway, and then have a look at what else we can do to make more money on the farm, to start building up the equipment again. I don't want to just consistently buy like hire purchase stuff and lease stuff. Obviously this is leased. It's kind of not an emergency necessarily, but it's kind of an emergency, you know. We've got to get the field work done. We've got to get this done before the end of the month, because otherwise it withers, and we then lose the potential income from this. But I'm going to try and, for the most part, try not to do too many contracts. I'm going to try and just wing it. Not wing it, that's not the right word. Just actually use our farm. I've got a little bit of money. I've got a little bit of a headroom with the $93,000, which obviously came from selling our property back in Poland and selling all of our equipment. Now, we didn't get a lot from the equipment, don't get me wrong, but the truck, because it was a vintage truck, I was very sad to let it go, don't get me wrong, but that we got a good, I think, 47,000 for that one. So that was a pretty good. We got a lot for that. And then the fuel, I think we got about 17, 18 for that. And then the equipment that we had, some of it obviously we had paid into it a little bit, and we had deposits paid on some of it, so we did get a little bit back from that, but not a lot. And I could have kept the truck and driven here, but that was going to take too long. We would have lost this field, so Grandpa asked if we could make it quick. If I could come over quick and just get my head down and work. So instead of driving, I bought a plane ticket and just flew over. So yeah, here we are. Yeah, it does look like we will need some straw for the sheep, which is fine. It's fine. It's fine. I also need to figure out, can I put silage in these barns? I'm pretty certain I can put one in this barn, the bunker barn. I love that name, the bunker barn. We're going to call it the bunker barn. We need to name the barns. The yellow barn, this is this one. The bunker barn. The old barn. The silver barn. I don't know, whatever. Let's have a quick look at what we've got now. Now, we could also, theoretically speaking, since we do have... Yeah, okay, so barley is literally at its lowest currently. We're definitely not going to sell now. We'll sell in January. We do have a little bit of money to... nearly 10,000 liters. That's pretty good. That's 10 grand right there. If we sell it in January. That is pretty good. Let's have a look at straw. Straw, there we go. 150 per bale, or no, per 1,000 liters. What, 3,500 liters in a bale? So you're looking at 550. No, a little bit more. Let's call it 600 per bale. We're probably going to get 10 to 20 bales there in that field. So you're looking at another 6 to 10k. The other thing I wanted to show you was, where is this? Constructibles. Is it in here? Yeah, these holiday homes. So the buildable holiday home with hourly income comes with the Highlands Fishing expansion, and it brings in £2,400 per month. You do need a lot of stuff to be able to build it. You need desks, beams, I think, planks, and tiles, wood tiles. But you know, we've got a substantial amount of land that we could potentially put that down in. And most likely, I think anyway, the best place would be here somewhere. And you could put like 3 down here in a row. That's a pretty big income, but yeah, it'll take a long time before we get to build that. But yeah, that's pretty good. Got 10k coming in with this field, maybe 6 or so k coming in with the straw. So we're looking like we're going to be making a little bit of money, at least in the near future. Oh, we can go this way. So yeah, I'm not too worried. We're gonna be okay. We're gonna be okay. We're gonna save the farm. We're gonna save Grandpa's farm. It's not like it's in danger necessarily, but it's not gonna be a farm anymore if we don't do this. You know, it's just gonna be a piece of property with fields, and he could lease out the fields. I guess we could do the same if we wanted to, but to be honest, I want to farm, as you all know. So that's unlikely going to be the case. It's very unlikely that we'll lease out the fields. And getting contractors to consistently work the fields for us is a non-starter, because that is, you're just bleeding money all the time. You know, you get a bit of money in, but then you have to pay contractors for the field work with regards to the plowing, the stone removal, the what do you call it? Words. Come on, words. The fertilizing, that's the word. I wouldn't say fermenting, but that's not it. The fertilizing, the planting or seeding, the herbicide or spraying and weed removal, and you know, all of that stuff takes money. And let's say you, I should have gone on that one. Let's say you do that, you get contractors to do the fields for you. You know, you're looking at potentially spending, I don't know, like 6 grand on a field and making 10 grand on it. You know, so you're only really making £4,000 per field, or for a big field of this size. The other the grass field, probably less, especially if you put arable in there. And then if you then consider tax and maintenance of equipment and purchasing equipment and or, you know, just living, that 4 grand is per every now and then, because that's not every month. 4 grand a month would be fine. But that's every season per field. So unless you have a metric ton of fields that you've already paid for, and that you don't have to worry about the tax and the cost of the fields themselves, you know, then that might be fine. But when you have 2 small fields, that is not sustainable. You won't be able to survive on 2 fields if you contract it out. If you do all the field work yourself and you get, you know, 16 to 20 grand per field every season, you know, you're looking at $40,000 a year, which is a salary. You know, that's sustainable to a degree. Anyway, a lot of talk, a lot of theoreticals being thrown around here. But yeah, so the point is, I am going to be working. I am going to be farming this and figuring out what to do to make it work. And I think the goal is for this series will be to have a fully functioning farm that makes £1 million a year. I think that would be cool. Doesn't matter how many fields we've got or equipment, but makes £1 million a year. That would be incredible. It would be very difficult, and obviously there are cop-out ways. You could just put down loads of holiday cabins, because it doesn't, theoretically speaking, or according to the game code, it doesn't really matter where you put them down. You know, you can just put them all in a lot and just put them down there, which is unrealistic. You definitely won't get £2,400 from that. We own an Airbnb, as in me and my wife, IRL, and it's a nice Airbnb with a good view. We don't make that a month, not from the Airbnb. We're lucky if we make £1,500 a month from that. So although it's a good income booster, it's not an income, and it's a nice Airbnb. You know, we put a lot of time and effort into that. It's got a very good view. It's got, I don't know, like 100 10 stars or 9-star reviews or whatever the star reviews. It's very good. My wife does a very, very good job with that, and that doesn't come close to what this game says you will make. So we'll go with it, but I'm gonna limit it to, we're only allowed, I'd say 3. We're only allowed 3, and I'm gonna say we're gonna get taxed on that, just to make it a little bit more realistic. You know, we're gonna get taxed like 35% or something like that. I'll have to calculate it. And I'm also, for this series, I'm going to go do the spin the wheel thing. So for every field or piece of land that we want to buy, I have to spin the wheel, and there will be 3 properties on sale at any given point, no more. So we can't just go in and buy property. I'll have to spin the wheel 3 times, and it'll give me the 3 properties that are for sale. And if I can buy that, then if I want to buy that, I can. Rather than just going, we'll just buy whatever property we want. Kind of like that idea. And I'm going to try and not do any contracts. Excuse me. I'm going to try and just do work on our actual farm rather than do contracts. Not that I love contracts. I think contracts is a great way to make money, but they pay way too much. They pay more than I think anyway they would pay in real life. You know, harvesting a field on a contract IRL, I don't think is going to give you $2,000 or £2,000, you know, or £1,000, and then you get to keep some of the stuff. So I don't think we're going to do that on this series. If we absolutely have to, I will, but I'm going to try and not do any contract. I'm going to rather look into other things. Also, there is the castle is a thing that you can actually build. So I might just go with the goal for the series is to get the farm to the point where we make £1 million a year, which would be incredible, and to finish building the castle. I think that would be cool, because I would like to see the castle. I think that would be pretty sick. See what the castle looks like, to build the castle. I've never actually built anything within this game. I think it was Silver Run Forest. There was you could build a... Was it so? Yeah, you could build a roller coaster and the boat, I think. Never did that. I wish I did on FS22. So on this one, we're going to go with I want to build the castle. That's going to be very difficult, and I'm going to have to learn how to do all of that, but I think it's going to be cool. I think it'd be pretty cool to get all of that done. There is, yeah, a little bit there that I'm going to quickly get. And then I'll come back for this. We're almost done, actually. We're doing pretty good. And it also looks like this field's actually going to be making us a lot more than just 10 grand. I think we're currently, or we were, at 10,000 litres after the 4th load. And it's just over £1 grand per 1,000 litres. So I think this field's most likely going to be making us between 20 and 30,000 pounds this season, which would be amazing. Be very good for us. I don't know why I'm reversing. I could have just turned around. That would have been faster. If we can get 20,000 litre out of this, we'll get 20,000 pounds minimum. But then obviously I think it's 1,154 pounds per 1,000 litres. So you're looking at, yeah, about 25,000, 23 something thousand pounds when we're selling this, when we sell the barley in January. That'd be awesome. Be very cool. Very, very cool. And it's also just cool to have a little bit of a property, you know, a little bit of the barns, and you've got some storage places, and now we get to work, and I get to build, and I get to think about selling cows and buying more cows for cheaper, and you know, it's cool. I like it. I like the fact that I don't have to stress too much about, oh no, I've just got to do contracts every day, you know, for the first 7 episodes of the series, and then you know, then get to a point where we can actually farm on our own farm. We get to farm on our farm from the get-go, from the very, very beginning, which is cool. I don't know how the cows work and what we're going to do with the cows. That is a pretty substantial field over there. So I'm definitely not opposed to getting rid of that. But at the same time, the cows are also, especially with the pasture, the open pasture, it is actually fairly easy, from what I understand anyway, to make money on them. You literally buy them when they're young. You feed them, water them. They've obviously got the grass as well. And then they get older and you sell them. And I'm guessing you can reproduce if you have a bull. I guess. I don't know. Do you need a bull? Do we have a bull? I'll have to have a look. Obviously, if anybody knows, please do let me know. Very excited for this. I'm sad that we had to stop our series in Sobolewu, because it's a cool map, and there was some cool stuff planned for that. But unfortunately, with the recent update on FS25, it broke something. I still don't quite understand. It seems like one of the bailing system within the game. I just put my indicator on again. The bailing system within the game. So it wasn't a mod. I thought it was a mod, but I think one of the bailing system basically broke with the update, which is why they then had an update, I think a day or two afterwards. But the save is corrupted, as in I can't open the save. It's still there, but I can't actually do anything with it, unfortunately. Oh, and that's also part of the money that we've got now is we had 3,000 something money in the bank anyway. So the oil tank got sold, with all the fuel. The truck got sold, all of our equipment, our field. So yeah, pretty good, pretty good. Here we are in Scotland, Kinleg. I've never been to Kinleg, but I did live in Scotland for over a year, and I actually really enjoyed it. Really loved it. It was such a beautiful country. It is a beautiful country. I know it's part of the UK, but many people also think Scotland is its own country. I think. Anyway, I don't really care. See, I think up there, maybe 2 or 3 shepherd's huts up there. I think that would be a pretty good place to do it. I don't know if it'll work, because I'd have to level the ground. Probably remove a tree or 2. But I reckon that would be a good spot. The only other problem is driving, obviously. You'd need to get... there'd need to be a road to it, so people can actually drive to it and actually park their cars close by. Otherwise, they'll have to park on our property, and I don't want to do that. Well, on, you know, at the house. We're gonna get way over 25k, 20,000 liters on this. Way over. I think we're at 15,000 liters now. We've probably got another 4 loads. No, probably more actually. Maybe even 5 or 6 loads left. And if that's the case, if we get like 30,000 pounds from this field, it might be worth, well, not might be worth, it probably worth doing the same, keeping it arable. I don't want to do grass. I think the other field up at the top is currently grass, but I don't want to do grass. I've always done grass. I've done too much grass, to be honest. We might need a bit of grass for the cows. I'll have to have a look if we need TMR in that. Oh, TMR is going to be a bit of a ball ache. That's going to cost us a lot, because we need a mixer. We need straw, silage. Or hay, sorry. Hay. Yeah, do we need straw? Hay? No, we do need straw as well. Can't remember exactly, but yeah, that's gonna be tough. But if we need it, if it helps, then so be it. You know, if it makes the cows grow faster and better, then we can do that. I don't know what the impact is of the difference between using TMR and grass. I know when you milk, you want TMR definitely, but when you just grow the cows to sell them, I don't know if that actually makes a difference. So if you do know, then please do let me know. Be interesting to know the impact of the game. And then we can also make an informed decision. I think at the start, we're most likely just gonna keep a couple of straw bales for the sheep, and maybe a couple more to just keep for the cows if we do need to make TMR. And then we'll be cutting the grass. We're definitely going to be buying a baler, because we're going to be doing straw most of the time. Whether we do sell barley or wheat or whatever we do. I mean, if you do canola, you don't really need that. But it will be smarter to do something like wheat or barley. I know canola sells for a lot more, but wheat or barley feeds the animals better. And we've got the straw. So if we do want to end up getting chickens, which again I don't really want to do because I've done that too many times. Oh, we've got some wool. It's actually, let's just turn this off. Let's have a look here. So that looks like food. Or straw. Hey guys. Oh, that's cool. You got a little water thing there. I'm just breaking up the... look at this. That one's very young. Lost birth, none. Okay. Guessing some of the older ones could be reproducing. So they've got loads of food, all grass. So we don't need to worry about anything else. It doesn't look like they need straw, which is good. And these guys, ooh, yeah, okay. So they don't have any food currently. She's not pregnant. We've got a couple we could potentially sell. There's a calf there, which is good. There's a couple of calves, actually. Newborn calves as well. Okay, so definitely going to have a couple that grows, which is good. We've only got really 5 full-size cows. That's interesting. Okay, so we need water for them. They don't have any water, so we need a water tank of some sort to bring them water. We'll have a look at that soon. And then we need some food. Hay is going to be hay or silage is going to be the best option. Well, TMR is obviously the best one, but I don't think we're going to be able to do that for a while. So hay or silage is going to be the best secondary option. The 2 best secondary options. Let me just close that just in case one of them gets out. Let's have a quick look. I kind of want to get them... Oh, shop is closed? What time is it? Oh, it's lunchtime. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Okay, I'm just going to keep working then.